you ready for part 4 of the Perpetual Organiser? This will be our last one. We should get it done. Hopefully tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to cover the inside of the book, we're going to cover the outside of the book, we're going to make a pocket here, and I want to go through the printouts with you as well. Hi Hannah, hi Mel. Then once we've done that, I think we're pretty much done with it, and I'm going to show you the new book, which is hiding under my trimmer at the moment. So hi Tanya. So how are we getting on? Are we all ready to carry on, or have we moved ahead and finished off, or what have we done? Hi Jill. Right, now, as you know, the one that I'm working on at the moment is the Christmas version. I have got a little bit further on with it, but not hugely, because I wanted to finish off the other book, ready for tonight, which I haven't finished, but it's finished enough to show you. So, as you know, I'm using the Graphic 45 Christmas Magic papers, because I'm going to turn mine into a Christmas planner. So I've got a little bit on with it and done some bits. I'll put that one in upside down just because, you know. Hello Victoria. But I will finish off the others. That's about as far as I've got at the moment, and I'm missing, seem to be missing one somewhere, but whatever. Okay, so what I want to do tonight is cover the insides and do the outside. Now on the original here you will see that I put some flowers, but as I mentioned before, the reason for that was simply because I made a mistake and I didn't like what was underneath. Hi Julie. So what I want to do, like I said, is the front and back covers. These are quite, oh, I've lost a bit off there. These are quite simple. I've just kept it flat because it's quite a bulky book, but I want to put in these bits as well that go in between on the gussets of the book, because that finishes it off quite nicely, I think. So I want to do that. And I will quickly show you how to add the charm, which is here. I don't know if that's out of shot now. No, not you, Mark. Oh. So I'll quickly show you how to do that, because on this kit I've used a different sort of attacher for the charm. Some that I found that I really like, and they're a little bit different from the ones that we usually use, because if you can see they're a little bit further out. They've got more of an extension out here than the ones that we usually use, and that means that the charm itself kind of hangs really freely because it's a little bit further away from the book itself. So we'll come back to that. So what I want to do first of all is the cover here. I want to make a little pocket, because on mine, we'll just grab it back a minute. On mine, what I've done is I've made this pocket to keep like extra bits of the shopping list, to-do list, whatever in there. So that's what we're going to do first of all. It is the simplest of envelopes to make. So what we're going to do is just work out how big we want to make it. So you're going to need some of your base card. I'm using black, and you're going to need your trimmer and your scoreboard. So the front of this book measures 7 inches by 8 1/4 inches. Now I want to have a little bit of a gap around here, so I'm going to say that I'm going to make, I need a pen, I'm going to make my, so what is it, 7 by 8 1/4. I'm going to make this say 6 inches by 7 3/4 inches. So for that bit, for my I don't know if this is showing up, I hope it is. So for my envelope, what I need to do is cut this bit first, which is just a big pocket, and I'm going to cut that at 7 inches by let's have a think, 7 inches by 6 inches, I think. So if you cut your first piece of card at 7 inches by 6 inches, oh, just hide that because I'm showing you the book. Shouldn't do that. I'll show you that at the end. Seven inches by... No, hang on, don't do 6 inches a minute. That's going to be quite short. Six and a half. Do it by 6.5 inches. And then our top bit, we're going to need to be, let's have a look, say cut it at 3.5 inches. So that's 7, actually it's going to be 6 by 3.5 inches. Okay, so we've got one piece that is 6 by 3.5 inches, and we've got one piece that is 7 by 6.5 inches. Does that sound about right? Is that what I said?
I don't know, I got confused then.
Oh no, so did I.
I typed it out.
I don't know. Whatever Mark said. Right, so... It's all right, there's a very, very slight size difference in the original to the one that we've made. Just about 1/4 of an inch, which is why I'm remeasuring it. So we've got this bit here, which is our flap. I want you to score on the 3.5 inch side. That means adding your, putting your piece to be scored so that the 3.5 inch side is at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, and that is the flap of our envelope. The other one, which is 7 inches by 6.5 inches, first of all, we're going to score on the 7 inch side. So that means put your piece of card up with the 7 inch side at the top of your scoreboard. And I want you to score at 1/2 inch, and I want you to score at 6.5 inches. And I want you to flip it round 90 degrees, and I want you to score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. So what you've got here is an ordinary pocket like we've made many, many, many times before. You've got this U shape there where the two score lines intersect. So the first thing that we're going to do is miter those corners. Though for those of you who are new to this sort of pocket making, I am going to just snip up to where my score lines intersect. I think you can see that there. But instead of going straight across, I'm just going to put my scissors at an angle, and I'm going to cut it that way. Now, this does not have to be perfect. I am no perfectionist, as anybody who's done my classes will tell you. But I don't do it straight across because that can still leave you with a bit of a bulky corner, and I don't like that. So I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. I'm going to just snip up to where the score lines intersect. I'm just going to move my scissors slightly to change the angle, and I'm going to miter that corner there so you can see that it's not a straight across miter. Okay? Right, now I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to fold this into a pocket. Okay, and I'm just going to burnish that. And I'm going to take the top of my envelope pocket, and I'm just going to fold that on the score line and burnish that. So when we come to stick this on, let's hope it's the right size, that is going to fit on the front of my book like that. That was a minor miracle. So whatever size I said cut it at. So you're cutting your envelope flap at 6 inches by 3.5 inches, and you are cutting your envelope bottom at 7 inches by 6.5 inches. Okay, right, so I think it was what you typed as well. So what we're going to do first of all here is we are going to just mat our covers. Now, on my original one, I used this snaky paper, which I couldn't get from the wholesaler. So I'm going to do this one slightly differently. I'm just going to do it like a regular book. So I'm going to just get some paper. I'm going to choose for the front of my cover, but bear in mind that when I've put it on, I'm not going to see most of it because my pocket will go on top of that. I'm going to mat that bit and I'm going to mat this bit as well. So I know that that front size is 7 by 8¼ inches. So I'm just going to choose some patterned paper. I don't know actually. Quite like that one. Oh, I like that one too. What was on the other side of that? Oh, decisions. Red or yellow? Can somebody decide for me, please? Red. I don't know, they're both really nice. I don't know. Somebody decide for me. While I find my ink. Red. All right, Tanya, you win. Right, red it is. I'll listen to you, not Mark. You do realise that. This is going to cause family ructions later. Right, okay. And you know what, I've forgotten again what size I said that front was. It was 7 across, wasn't it? By 8¼ So I am going to cut my patterned paper. 8¼ is the height. So I am going to cut it at 8 1/8 of an inch. I may come to regret this. 8 1/8 inch, and I'm going to cut this at 6 7/8 of an inch. You might decide you want more black space around yours or white space depending on how you've made your book, but I want not so much. Yes, I'm happy with that. I'm going to cut that out twice because I want that for the back of my book as well, but I've just got that piece left out of this. So I'm going to cut my spine piece, which is 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut that at 3 3/8. Does that sound right? 3 3/8. Yep. Let's see. Yep, that looks good to me. So I'm just going to cut the last one, which was 6 7/8 by 8 1/8. Okay.
What was that one?
3 3/8 by 6 7/8. Right. Now I'm going to ink my edges. Who was it I was talking to the other day that said that they love the sound of inky edge? Oh, I know who it was. It was Fiona. Can I talk about her because she's not here? Maybe. But we were talking about how magnets, and when magnets snap, what a great sound that is. But Fiona also likes the sound of inking the edges of your papers. Oh, put that down in the ink. Oh well. Good job it doesn't matter.
ASMR.
ASMR? What's that? You'll have to speak up.
It's when your hair stands on the back of your neck when you hear the sound like that.
But that's not a good thing, surely. Can you hear it?
No.
He says it's like that noise that makes your hairs on your back of your neck stand up.
In
a good way.
A tingling sense.
A tingling. Okay.
Just don't search for it on YouTube.
Why? Okay. I hope you didn't hear that last bit. Right. Okay. Now I'm just going to glue this on to my book. Right, now, I haven't posted any more of the inserts yet. I will do in due course. I'm still working on them. Oh, this worked earlier on today. Oh, there we go. I'm doing the Christmas one, so I need to get those finished for my book. I'm going to do a travel edition, And Kerry Gibson and I are currently working on a wedding edition. So if there's anything else that you think of that you want, let me know. Right. Okay. I love putting the covers on books. It just kind of makes it all come together. Oh, Mel, are you still here?
I think she is.
Because if you are, I'm going to need a charm for my book, aren't I? A Christmas charm. Not that, you know, you haven't got anything to do or anything. But, you know, if you wanted to, you can make me a Christmas charm. Stay. I'm not going to.
Victoria is super intrigued by the wedding division.
Oh, well, watch this space because Scrap Lab Tech Kerry. If you go onto the Scrap Lab, if you find us on Facebook, that's the name of our craft supply store. Kerry is on our design team, and she had this brilliant idea for making this into a wedding planner. And we found some paper that we both really like, which I bought in. And I'm seeing Kerry this weekend, and I'm going to give it to her so that she can make one up so that you can see a wedding edition. Right, okay, so that's the book covered. That was nice and easy, wasn't it? So what I want to do now is just put on the pocket. Now these pockets you can put anywhere. I've seen people, I think Sue Cass put them on the inside of her book. I know Tanya made a lovely pocket for the inside of her book. You can put them on the front, you can put one on the front, you can put one on the back, it doesn't really matter. Right, let me just check out where the middle of this is. I have to eyeball this a minute. And we're just going to glue, gluey fingers. Oh. Right, I'm just going to glue that down. Into the centre of my book on the front cover. But towards the bottom, because remember that we're going to be putting that little policy envelope fastening on the top. Okay. Right. So there's my pocket. Now I've got the pocket lid. Not lid, what's it called? Flappy thing. And I'm going to just pop that on the top. Just make sure that it lines up. Okay. Right, don't worry about this showing because it won't by the time we're finished. Okay, so now I'm going to cover that. So that is 6 by 6 miraculously. Right, so I'm going to find some paper. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to cut that at 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And I'm just going to double check that that's going to fit on. Yep. Let's just ink that edge. Oh. No, I'm sticking with the red. Okay, let's just pop that on there. Okay. Right, I'll just put my glasses on just to see how we're all doing. How are we doing? Good. Oh, I don't know, I can't see. Anybody see my mouse? Oh, I found my other insert that I lost though, so that's a good start.
Well, now will be a cat under there as well.
There may well be a cat. They've been very, very quiet lately, haven't they? Don't know why. Right, where are we down here? Right, okay. Right, so that's that. Now I'm going to do this top one, which will be the same width, which is 6 by 3. So I'm just going to cut that at 5 7/8 by 2 7/8, and I'm going to cut that twice because I'm going to want to put this inside as well, because we don't want this messy bit leaving like that, do we? So let's just check it fits, which it does. Just going to ink that edge. Now, if you wanted to put a closure on this, you could put a magnet if you wanted. Although it's standy uppy a bit at the moment, it won't stay like that. Over time, it will most definitely flatten down. If you bought the kit, you've had a clip in there as well that I added in so that you can always clip it down if you want to. You could make a proper policy envelope closure. You could punch out a circle, say, put a brad through it, and some ribbon, and then another circle here with the brad, so that when you put your ribbon in, you can wrap it round in a figure 8. Lots of ways of doing closures. Actually, we should have a class just about closures, I reckon. Okay, so let's stick that on. Okay, and I'm going to put this one inside here, but I'm going to put it so that it's the right way up when I open it. Okay, so you can see that that matches through. Okay, now I want something to cover up this bit here. Now, I could use that so you couldn't tell. Or, I think what I'll do is use this one. So, I know that's 6 inches across there, and I'm going to want to cover that up, so I'm going to measure 2 inches. So I'm going to cut it at 2 inches by 5 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so this will just slot inside there, in theory. Let's just check it for size, and then fit just there. Okay, which will cover that bit up that we've just done. So I'm just going to ink that edge. I only need to ink it on 3 sides because I don't need to ink the bit that I'm tucking in. I'm just going to pop that in there. If you're really clever, you'd make this all line up properly all the way down, but I'm not really clever. Okay, so that's my pocket on the front now, and that's where I can put things like my to-do lists or whatever. I could put a closure on there. like I said, a policy envelope or something along those lines, you know, one of those circular closures or magnets or whatever. On this book, what I've made here is a sort of a little shaker pocket. Now, if you've had the kit, you have had a piece of acetate in there. This bit is just layered up bits from the ephemera pack. I've then put the frame, this greeny frame, onto some of the chipboard that we had left over from when we made our actual book structure, and then I have added the acetate on top. But first of all, I have put underneath some sequins and stuff to make a shaker pocket, and then I've just laid those up, glued it all down, and then popped it on the front of my book. Okay, dead easy to make. Right, so that's the front of the book, and we can decorate that up in due course however we fancy. So now I'm just going to cut some paper just to make this flat. I just want that covered flat. So that was, I've forgotten what size it was already. I'll have to measure it in a minute. Let me just find some paper. I think we'll go with that one. Let me just measure it. 7 by 8 1/4. Right, so for those inside bits, I'm going to cut my paper at 8 1/8 of an inch by 6 7/8 of an inch. And I'm going to want 2 of those, one for the front, one for the back cover. So that is 8 1/8 of an inch by 6 7/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to ink that edge. Oh, can't do it that way around. Right. Now I'm just going to pop that on the inside cover of my book. I'm really liking how this is coming together now. I love this bit. This is when it all seems to sort of come together. And now I'm going to do the back. I'll put that back in there. Now I've found it. Need to finish decorating that. Right, let's glue that down. Okay, now as I said, if you wanted to, you could put pockets on the inside of the, you know, the front and the back cover. That's entirely up to you. I haven't, but that doesn't mean that you can't. Entirely up to you. You could have 4 pockets all together, and you know, your thing. Right, now I've still got these bits of black in between each of my pages, which they're all right, but I'd kind of like to get rid of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of my scraps and I am going to cut bits of paper, which are going to be, that's 1/2 inch gusset there, so I'm going to cut it at 3/8 of an inch by 8 and 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be 8 and 1/8 of an inch height, and it's going to be 3/8 of an inch depth. Let me just double check that by doing it. So just find my papers, see what I've got left over. I've got bits everywhere and none of the bits that I want. Ooh, got bits of paper everywhere. Right, I'll start with this one because I know I've used that. So this is going to be 3/8 of an inch by 8 and 1/8 of an inch. Let's just see if that fits. Oh yes, it does. There you go. So I'm going to cut one of these for each of the gussets. It doesn't really matter which papers you use at all. Could be any of them. Depends how you've arranged your book. I'm just going to ink the edges. And I'm going to glue that down. I think it just gives a nice finished off look to your book. Okay, there we go. Start at the beginning. So 3/8 of an inch by 8 and 1/8 of an inch. Let's pop that in there. Ooh. And that one in the back. This is all I'm going to do with these. I'll do the rest later. I just want to show you the gist of it, really. So we're not going to be too long tonight in class. We've nearly done. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all these books finished. Because even though we've all used... Oh, hi, Kerry. I've just been talking about you. Did you know? I was telling them about the... I was going to say Halloween. I meant wedding. It's similar. I was going to say Halloween again. The wedding book that you're going to do for us. It's going to be really good. Really excited by it. Okay, let's get that one there. Right, okay. So we're going to put those, oh, messed that one up. We're going to put those strips in between each of the pages, okay, just to tidy it up a bit. Now, the thing for holding the charm, I don't know what it's called. Charm holder, who knows? It's probably got a proper name. I'm not going to put mine in because with just gluing that paper, it's a bit too wet to glue just now. But I'll just show you the gist of it. Let me just grab one. I've got packs of these things because I think they're really cool. Okay, so if you're using one of mine, you will see that it comes in 2 bits, which is the screw, which is this bit here, and also this is the bit that we hang the charm off. I don't know what that's called. It might well be open slightly. You just need to get some pliers just to shut that down. Okay, I've no idea what these things are called. We need to come up with a name for them. And all you need to do is decide where you want it. Now, I'm inclined to measure exactly where the middle is here and make a little mark with my pencil. But I need to make sure that wherever I'm going to hang my charm from, it's going to come through in between the pages. Okay? So then I'm going to take, well, I use a brad awl. Actually, let me just grab it. I have a sentimental attachment to my brad awl because this belonged to my grandfather. But you can use a pokey tool. This is just, I think it's a tattered lace pokey tool. This works really well, just as well. So I'm going to go where my mark is on here, and I'm literally just going to screw it round until I make a hole. I'm then going to put the screw end. If you've got one of these in the kit, the screw end that you've got is much longer than this one here. We changed them round because they weren't long enough. So you're going to put that through. You're going to take your hangy thing and you're just going to screw that on. Okay? It really is as simple to put on as that. And then you can just hang your charm from it. So you can see there, that's it attached, and that's it on the inside. It will show. We could have put the paper over the top, but the trouble is, hi Sue, hi Fiona. The trouble is that because this has got like a screw end, it is slightly raised. I don't mind seeing that there. You might if you do cover it over, but you're going to find that it doesn't leave your paper flat because it's got a raised screw on the end, okay? So there we go. That's how you attach your charm. So we've looked at the pocket, we've looked at the shaker thingy here, we have decorated the inside of our books, and we've put in these gusset pieces too. So the last thing for us to do is have a look at the inserts and what we're going to do with those. So Joe was asking me about the inserts. So what I've done is, this is what I've put in the group. I've literally just printed it out on my laser printer onto A4 ordinary paper, and when I say A4 I'm talking about English A4, which is it about 8 1/4 by 11 3/4 inches, something like that, and this should come out the right size for your book. So the first thing that you've got here is a to-do list, okay, and we've got the birthday list. They're all done in months. We've got at the back, I think we've got a shopping list. We've got an email list, an address list, and a passwords list. Now you don't need to keep printing them out every time you need to write a new shopping list. Just print that one page. You don't need to keep printing the whole thing out again and again. You can just print one page at a time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know that in my book I need a January and a February birthday list. So I'm just going to take those out. January and February, and I'm going to use my trimmer to cut round them. Now you'll see here that we've got these little dots. That's your cutting guide. So I'm just going to line this up with my trimmer, And the nice thing about this Fiskars trimmer is that you can see exactly where you're cutting, because there's like a wire right down the middle. So now I've just cut that, I've just trimmed off those circles there because they're my guides. Okay, don't need them, trim them, they can go. So let's line that up. Cut round it. Okay, and I'm just going to, it's in 2 parts, January. Well, all the month birthday lists are in 2 parts because obviously it's a long list. So I'm just going to cut those circles off. If you wanted to back these onto card, make them more sturdy to last, that might be a good idea. But there we go, I've got my 2 inserts. So I'm just going to take my book now and I'm just going to pop those January birthday inserts into that pocket there. Okay, there we go, done. All right, that's my January inserts. I'm just going to cut out a shopping list, I think. What have I got here? Right. Here's my shopping list, and like I said, I can print this out as many times as I need to. I can print 1 sheet at a time. I don't need to print out the whole thing.
Fiona says hello.
How are you getting on with your book, Fiona? I was with Fiona last Saturday, and we were both working on the same table, both on our books. It was really good.
At the crop.
Yes, at the crop. Right, so I've got my shopping list. So now I can think, well, you know, do I need my shopping list now? No, I can pop it in there, save it till later. Or I can think, right, okay, I need to keep that somewhere safe. So I'm going to pop it, say, into one of the pockets here, something like that. Okay? So that's how you use your inserts. I'm going to do some more things like meal planners and such like. I still haven't quite got round to it, but I will do. And then you can add those in as well. Now we've got these bits here, these bits that pull out. We can either write bits in here if we want to, or just let me grab some receipts. I can keep some receipts so that I remember to do my tax return on time, which would be a minor miracle. And I can just think, right, I've got to keep all January's ones safe before I put them into my spreadsheet, and pop that in there, and they're safely kept in there. Okay, so I guess that makes vague sort of sense. I'm going to take those out before I realise that, before I think I've lost them, because I probably will. Now the only other thing to mention is that if you've had a kit, or not, if you've got some of these of your own, I have made some little calendars, and I've got one for obviously for each month, and what I've done is I've used some of the pattern papers here. I've just, you know, matted this onto a piece of spare card that I've got, and I've taken my calendar apart, and I've cut it down to each month, and as you can see it's a 2020 calendar, and I've put some of those sort of photograph corners on. So 2021 I can take this out and I can add in the March 2021 one. So this is really, hi Holly, a perpetual calendar. Now you can use these bits for anything you like. You could use it, you could put photographs in here that you're intending to scrap so that you don't lose them. You can use these pockets for any number of things, and I am really, really keen to see what you all end up using them for. But if there's things that you think, oh yeah, I need that, but you need me to make you something, whether it's, I don't know, a list or whatever, let me know, because I'm quite happy to keep on at the project anyway. So I think pretty much as far as the book goes, I think that's it completed. I am going to finish off my Christmas version, and I will post you lots of photos of that and how that's coming on. I'll mend that bit that I did upside down because I didn't follow my own advice, and I'll show you that as soon as it's finished. So that's that great big book done. I can't believe you've all done it so quickly, actually. I'm really impressed. So thank you ever so much for joining me for that, because that was quite a project. So I guess you want to know what we're going to do next. So let me just tidy up a minute because I'm going to need a lot of space to show you this. Now this book that I'm about to show you, some of you will recognise because it's a take on a book that I taught at a retreat last year. But it's kind of different. Right, let me get this charm right before Mel gets upset. This is the Rolled Up Minibook, okay? Now the papers that I've used and the papers that are in the kit are by Cartabella, and they are called Home Again, and they are beautiful greens and teals and dark bluey greeny. Oh, they're just absolutely stunning. I love them. Really, really lovely papers. And in the kit you will get a full pack of the 12 by 12 Cartabella Home Again papers, which includes the double-sided papers. And I have to say, the card, the paper, the cardstock is quite amazing because it's got a bit of a texture to it. It's almost like not linen, but it's bubbled a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just absolutely amazing. It's not your ordinary average cardstock. So it's got the double-sided 12 by 12 papers plus a set of the cardstock stickers in there. You will also get a pack of the 12 by 12 solid papers which match, and they are absolutely stunning. You will get a full pack of the Home Again ephemera, and you will get this lovely little charm that Mel's put together. I have to say, when she first showed me this stuff, I was terrified because I thought that's going to be far too big. It's just not going to work, but it is absolutely perfect. It's very, very, very lightweight. This is amazing. This is actually a piece of well, it's leather. I'm not sure, I don't think it's real leather, sort of like a leatherette thing, so it's more of a sort of a fabric-y vinyl type printed thing. We've got a little house on there, and a little white flower and some lovely turquoise accents as well. So let me show you the book. Now I've shown you the charm, and there will be a charm in the kit. Now Mark's just put up the link to the kit in the shop. You'll get everything that you need, the structure kit as well, in your package. I have 20 available, and that is it. I cannot get this paper anywhere. I've had to bring in quite a lot from America because my usual suppliers couldn't give me enough of them. So once that is gone, it is absolutely gone. But let me show you the book. So we've got our little charm here. Now this isn't 100% finished. It still needs some, you know, prettying up. But on the front page of our book, we've got a little tuck pocket here where we can put, just say for instance, a photo mat. Okay, so we've got this little tuck pocket here. So photo mat, some ephemera, whatever we want to put in there. This book then opens up like that. Now this is it's not finished yet, as I said, but we've got a little pocket here with some more photo mats. These are the solid papers that come in the kit, and they're absolutely gorgeous. The colours are just amazing. So we've got that little sliding pocket there. This little pocket here is just a very ordinary pocket. I need to make some more mats to go in there because this book is about enjoying the paper and putting our photos onto photo mats so that we're not spoiling the paper at all. Now this is when it starts getting interesting. Okay, so this is called a rolled up mini for a reason. Opening up a bit more. Here we've got a little envelope with a pocket in it that's got an acetate, I don't know if you can see there, it's got an acetate front on it. So there's some photo mats there. That's closed by a magnet, and you'll get all the magnets in your kit as well. This page opens up so that we've got some more photo mats inside there. And magnet. And now we're going to roll it a bit more. We've got another one of our little folders there, and another policy envelope type thing here. And we're going to unroll it a bit more. We've got an ordinary pocket there. We've got a pocket like on the front here. I'll roll it a bit more. We've got a side pocket there, and we've got a belly band closure here with some photo mats underneath it. Now, this book rolls. It's actually two-sided, and it like I said, it rolls up. It's not traditional. There's no sort of like, oh gosh, Julie, thank you, that was quick. Tell you, if anybody beats Julie, they're lucky. So it rolls up. So this book is actually two-sided. So as you can see here, actually this is really difficult to show you, but this is one side of the book, okay? And we're going to turn it over, and then this is the other side of the book, okay? Now, because of what we're going to use to make our hinges, we can roll the book up, but we can roll it any way we like. If we're working on that page and we want to show people, we can roll it up that way. The book it's very, very flexible in that respect. But I'm just rolling it up in a circle because that's the way it traditionally goes together. So that's the book. A little bit different, I think, from anything you might have made before.
Julie's ordered it.
Yeah, I know, I just said. Hi, Vanessa. So that's our next project. I'm guessing, where are we now? It is February the 5th. I reckon we're going to start this in a couple of weeks. So I'll put a resources list up, of course. But if anybody wants to have a kit, then Mark's put the link up. I will take some photographs in the morning when I've finished it completely so that you can see the book a little bit more. If you want to go ahead and order it, it's in the shop now. But like I said, I've only got a limited number and there is nothing more that I can do about that. Hi, Janet. Janet, I'm really sorry. I've just about finished. I do apologise. You're going to have to go back and watch. But if anybody's got any questions, let me know. I can't wait to see all your finished organisers. I'll keep you posted with what Kerry's doing. And I will see you all really, really soon. So any questions, let me know in the group. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And happy Valentine's until then. All right, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you joining me. Bye.